Okay, people have asked for me to do a little tutorial on how I made my little folio from file folder. So here it is. Okay, so I had to think about what I'd done because I was literally had the file folder in front of me and I'm folding and until it got right. So I sort of had to lay it out on the other file folder to see exactly where I scored, because like I said, I wanted in this bit here, I wanted a little bit more space. So just to give a tiny bit more room, say for a bigger notepad here, which would be ideal then. So anyway, one file folder, and I've actually got one the same as this, which is where the placement of everything was, which I thought made it easier, but yours might not be, you know, up like that one, which is fine. You know, we can, it'll make it look different, won't it? The only thing I've stayed away from, which I did watch, is where the closure was going to be. Okay, because I didn't want anything in the middle. So that's the only thing I watched. I mean, this bit is false anyway, but this might be in a different area. This could be down here. You could have your skinny bit there and your wide bit down there. You know, that's fine. This could be up here, or it could be in the middle. You know, which again makes them look a bit different. So, but I've done one the same for ease. So because of remembering what I've done. Right, okay. I literally did fold it in half and everything, but I'm going to score it now because again, I want these more accurate here and I want an 1/8 of an inch in between. So, right, file folder is like so. Okay, so open it out. Yeah, I hope you can see this. And I placed it in the scoreboard. And if you don't want any room here, then fold it, because this is your guide for everything. Is this bit here that's the backbone that's already scored. Okay. So this one make sure everything's square, is 3 and is it 7/8, isn't it? Yeah, 1 2 3 4 5 6, yeah, 3 and 7/8 I scored, yeah, all the way down, yeah. Then I scored an 1/8 of an inch, which brings us to 4, and scored again, yeah. Then that's already pre-scored. You don't need to score that, you just fold it, okay, because that is in the file folder, yeah. And then I folded that over like so, and then hopefully you can see that. Oh, I hope you could see the other one. Let's have a look. Yeah, this one. I hope so. If not, I'll put the details below, all right? So then I fold it to that and make sure that's butted right up to there. Okay, and I scored it 4 and 7/8. I don't know whether you can see that. Okay, but if you don't want to do that, just to make sure. So you score, that one's important that you score if you want your 1/8 of an inch, okay? This is already pre-scored the folder, and the best thing to do then is to just fold that over, leave about an 1/8 of an inch there, or else this could interfere with the fold lines, yeah? An 1/8 of an inch there, and then fold in and burnish, okay? Then that gives you, because once that's, you know, that gives you the folder shape, yeah. I don't cut anything off the bottom yet, so that's how it should look. All right, and the thing I do now is I work out what height I want, okay, and where I want to take off, if where I want to take it off, depending on where this is really. I'm okay taking off from the bottom, all right, because I'm quite, you know, I know where the placement is of these, and that's where I want it, so I'm going to take off down here, all right. If you get a little bit left like this, then just cut it off, which I'll show you, because I'm sure I'll get left with something. I'm going to do 8 1/4 this time, so that it sort of fits a TN, but it'll be a skinny TN. But so if we go to 8¼ which is there, so I'll just do it with that, mark it with that. Okay, and then cut that off. Oh no, I'm not cutting off, sorry, please don't cut it off because you won't get no tabs left. What I'll do is I'll put it in here. Go to 8¼ so I'll put it in there and we're going to score it, okay? Just put it in nice and square. 8¼ which is there. I mean, it's hard to go down the double thickness, but it's all right. Just do it gently and try and keep in the lines, not like me. Okay, cut the times, flip over just to make sure we got it that way as well. Okay, so 8¼ there. If you haven't got a scoreboard, then measure it and just fold it and burn it, which that's what I done in the beginning anyway. I didn't use my scoreboard at all. I just literally folded it. And then I'll burnish this. Sorry, that might have been a bit noisy. Burnish that, burnish all the lines really. I'm not worrying about too much about that for a minute. Okay, because these are the bits that we cut off. All right, so might as well cut some of them off. Did I leave any for pockets? I actually left some for pockets, and then I cut them off after because I didn't use them. So did I leave? I know I left this one here for this, and I left that one there. Okay, so that was, I left that one. I'll just use a pencil for that to remind me, because I literally built it up as I was going along. So okay, left that one here, so I'll tick that, leave, and I left that one there, and I'll leave that, and then that one's cut off and that's cut off. Okay, so cut, cut. Okay, so what you have to do now is get your scissors. Definitely cut down here. I go inside the score line, or the outside, sorry. So it sort of looks like that, but straighter. Cut that off, and this one's cut off anyway. Okay, keep all those because they're quite good for die cutting. Quite gone up far enough there. Sorry, it's hard to do it and in camera, so, and with my head away instead of looking at it. Yeah, get rid of that one. Okay, and get rid of this other end one. So I'm a bit shaky today. I didn't get much sleep last night, so you tend to get shakes sometimes if I haven't had enough sleep. Okay. All right, I was trying to do it without having to use this because my head does get in the way, but I'm gonna have to because I can't cut that out properly. Okay, and I cut off quite a bit of this one. I'll leave that much for now, I think. About an inch or inch and a half. An inch and 3/4 actually. That was that one there, which is this little lip here. Okay. And this one I sort of just cut down a bit. Yeah. Just cut a bit off that. Just ruler's width, something like that. Make it easy. Okay. Pocket there. Okay. And I need to cut off that bit now. If I can get it in so you can see. Oh, there'd be so many ways to do these, I expect. There we go. I thought I'd just sit there and play, and then, you know, then you tend to come up with your own little flips and flaps and... There we go. And what you've got to do sometimes, all right, is take a slither off of these, all right. I know I shaped my pocket, all right, so I'm just gonna take that triangle off there. Okay, and the points of those scissors are not sharp. That's better. And try and do similar this side. A little bit deeper. Okay. And that goes up like that. All right, and these ones too, you need to take a slither off, but only a little bit. Okay. Okay. And that's your 2 pockets. Okay, that gets in like that. Then we put a false one down here, which I'll show you how to do that in a minute. That goes there. Then we put a false panel down there to make that nice and strong as well. But that is the basics of it. Okay. Okay, the next thing is I put Tyvek on there. Okay, which is that, I think in the US you get envelopes for this Tyvek. It's quite indestructible. It's brilliant, and I use it on things like this. But you can use fabric. Okay, it's not a problem. But I would stick down your reinforcer on the spine first, which it works out about 3/4 of an inch. I tend to take a millimetre off. Okay, so I just come in a little bit. Right, so to make sure that fits nicely rather than stick out or anything like that. Okay, so if you use fabric, I'll put that down and then your fabric over the top. All right, same as what I do with the Tyvek. Just, you know, I have a little bit more there. That's 2 inches, maybe 2.5. That's 2 inches, and that may be an inch. Okay, so do that. So I stick that down. If you want that to be really, really, you know, strong, then I would double up on your card. All right, this is about 300 GSM. But I don't mind it if it's slightly flexible. That's all done. All right, now you've got to make sure that these all fold over nicely again. So go ahead and burnish those again. Okay. The hardest one is with this little one here with the 1/8 of an inch. So do that. Where are you? Okay. Yeah, get that folded over like that. Okay, just so I get that line, because it is literally just an 1/8 of an inch, so it's hard, very hard to score this one. But if you just fold it over like that, yeah, so we've got it there. All right, and then burnish. Just gives a tiny bit of space to help. All right, that's fine now. So we've got it now. Okay. You can see it there as well. Okay, so that is like so. That goes in there. Hold on. Right, just make sure that's not touching that. Well, it won't be when there's stuff in there. Okay, because that'll come up. That goes in there. It goes there, and there we have it. Okay, and now we'll do the false one along there. So depending on where you want this bit, which I think I'm gonna do the same. So just get another file folder. Don't really want to cut it off that one because I've got one here, but I don't really want to cut it off there. But then I could do something different with that, so we'll use that today for ease. All right, so what have I done? Yeah, so cut that one off. Okay, so I'm going to use that one there. So cut in about 1 inch, I think, if I remember rightly. Doesn't really matter because you cover it over, so I think I brought that to about there. Cut that off. And because this is classed as our front, and I'm going to put that along there. Okay, glue that on. Don't glue that bit because that's the bit that's sticking over. There we go. Okay, and that's our false panel. Okay, to make it this bit here. All right. If it might, no, it won't ever work out, will it? Because that is actually the inside. I was just going to say, because sometimes you might do it and it might work out, or you might find a way to make it look like that. I haven't yet, but then I've only played once, so I'm sure I can come up with some different folds and different things with them. Okay, well that is the basis. All right, so next bit is the pockets and things like that. And I went ahead and I think you either paint this or ink this up all the white. Okay, because you don't want to see that, especially in the places like this, because you will see that. Okay, so I inked all that up, which I'll go ahead and do. All right, all that. and then I covered all the inside with, I don't know what I've done, like music paper or scrapbook paper, book pages, anything you want. I can't remember what I've done on this one. I just done all sorts really, because I used what was around. What did I put in there? Yeah, I think underneath there's actually book pages. Yeah, I'm going to ink this up and then do a bit of stamping because, and actually most probably didn't tell you, I've already coffee stained and gessoed those. Okay, I just like the texture of it. You don't have to. I'm not worrying too much about this because I'm going to cover that up with paper, but I'm still going to ink down this bit here. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go around and ink all the edges up. Okay, so I've inked all around. Okay, and now I'm going to stamp all over. Okay, but basically sort of, yeah, all over but around the edges, because that's all you're going to see. I'm going to use the Stampers Anonymous one, which is there. Okay, it doesn't come like this, so I've cut it, if you know what I mean, out of the plastic. So I do tend to cover most, actually. There's no point in doing the inside because I tend to cover everything of that. Yep, I'll leave that. I'm trying to remember what I've done. Oh, it's the other way, isn't it? Don't forget that. Luckily I do it very late, and then we can cover that one. And this one I'm going to do a bit just in keeping with everything. That's fine. Okay, I've finished all the stamping and everything. Oops. Yeah, I just sort of got things, you know, sorted out matted wise, because I haven't stuck them in or anything, because my friend was here this morning and I couldn't really film or anything, so she comes and joins me for a bit of art therapy. So next thing I do is I mat everything. Okay, so I usually cut them a little bit shorter than the actual size, just to give a little bit of a border going round. So that's that. And some of them I actually rip and tear, but the first layer I tend to do like this. These ones I tend to just put paper on and then cut around it, because that can look quite nice for a change. Right, so I'll cut down there, okay, and then I just glue them on and then cut around it. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and I do that with the back. All right, can't do it with those ones. There we go. All right, ink these up and stick any bits that need sticking down again. Yeah. Okay, and then so I'll just go along and just make sure the edges are all nicely down, and then ink up, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'll get and make the little things that we do. I usually do 2 together, okay, for that. And I find it easier if I make the hole first and then use the circle punch. I'll just come further enough away from there. So 1, I need 6 more, so I need 8, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I use my circle punch. And I can just line up that. I seem to be able to line that easier. That's it. Oh, that one was a bit near. Sometimes you have to make the hole a bit, but usually works out right. And you glue them all together and then ink up the edges on the outside. So you do the rest of them like that, and then ink up the edges. Okay, so they're all done, and I'm going to put them all. Not all of them, all but one. And I've got some brads. Okay, I'm going to put them all in my little pot because I'm only going to attach one at the moment. I'll just have a little look. Where do we want it? I would say about there. I usually eye it up actually. There we go. Let's make sure that goes through there first. Like that. In there, yeah. And I'll sort of turn it until the legs are that way, because you can always cover that over and mat that if you want to. Bit of tape over it. Okay. And then you get a piece of bit of music paper over there. Really cut that way. I don't know whether I can get it in shop because I have to put most of the folder on my lap to cut. That's it. And there we are. That's that one done. Now let's do the flippy flop pocket. Flippy flop. Flippy flap. Oh God. Oh dear. Messages. Hold on a minute. Okay. Right. Next bit. Okay, is the envelope. Right. Now I'm very fortunate because this envelope fits in there. I have to cut a little bit off the bottom, but very little. And just happened to be, and these are quite thick envelopes. Okay, the thinner the envelope, maybe the thicker the paper to go on it. All right, so you have quite a nice sturdy flap. All right, but this is a nice thick one. So what I do with the flap, okay, like that, I use that to stick down. Okay, and we put that there. But I'll decorate it first because it's easier to add the pocket if it's out of it. So I have an inside pocket. So that bit here is going to have a mat on. So that's okay. We can go ahead and do that. right there. Okay, or you can rip that if you want, but I'm not today. Oh, little tip on the glue. Some of you might already know, but my sister found this out the other day. She said it actually doesn't bubble out the top if you keep that squeezed in for some unknown reason. Okay, I think it's something to do with the air getting in. So if you squeeze it in, but I know you can't do it first. You have to wait until it's half empty for it to work, but it's usually all right for a bit, isn't it? And then it starts nearer the bottom, where if you squeeze it in, it doesn't escape for the top. Well, I have tried it. It did work. But, you know, we are on camera now. So, it could be different. So we shall see. I'll leave it in view when I've finished gluing, and we'll see how much escapes. I'll leave you there. Behave. Very sad when you start talking to the glue, isn't it? Ink that up. And some of you might not, you know, matte if you're putting a big pocket in, but I quite like it. And also it sort of makes the envelope a bit sturdier, so. And that was Vintage Photo, all right. Okay. So, because it's going that way, you've got to make sure that's the right way up. All right, that's where it's going to be stuck down to the page. All right, now on this one, you do it, make sure well, if you're checking yourself, especially beginners, okay, so that's how it's going to go in there. All right, so when you do that page, the writing needs to be going down there, so keep your flap at the bottom. All right. What's going on there? I might have to take a tiny bit off that one. I will. Okay. Yeah, no escapees. Yeah, I think it's going to work, you know. Tiny little bit, look, coming out, not very much. Just 5 minutes ago, it was literally coming out everywhere. Right, I think I'll do the pocket now. Okay, it goes there. And put a nice double pocket on there. Okay, so we measure across, which is, I would say, I would do the pocket the same size as that. So that's 3 3/4, yeah. And because we need flaps on the side to create a bigger pocket, you add an inch, so that's 1/2 inch each side then. All right, so 3 3/4, that's 4 3/4. We'll cut our mat, which I must write that down. So that's 4 3/4. Okay, across that way, and then we know it's 8. All right, but if we want a lip in it, we have to do it 8 1/2. All right, 8 1/2. Right, so I need to cut a piece of paper like that for my pocket. You don't have to score it actually if you don't want to. Right, I'm get something else though. I need some coloured paper now. I'll have a little look. I've got loads of it hanging around. Right, I've chose some papers. Got the new November kit. So I thought I'd use that because I did use it on the original in the background in here. And again, this is all my papers from me inkjet printing, because I do print on inkjet as well as my laser, just to check out how it all prints. So I do like to make use of these. That's why I make things up and use them. Okay, but this can be any piece of paper you want it to be. It doesn't have to be this. Okay, just that I use this because I have it. All right. Yep, I think I'm gonna do something. So because I can't really turn, because I can't get 8 1/2 in, which that's the measurement we had, 8 1/2 in that way. Okay, and that's gonna look odd that way. So I would get something that, oh, that one might be quite nice. Okay, so that one will look okay going that way. So I'll do my 8.5 that way and my 4 3/4 going that way. And I think that will make a nice pocket. Okay, and we've got some nice bits over that would, you know, look nice on a tag or something. Alright, let's do this one then. Where is my pocket? So that's going to go there, and then we're going to make a pocket just there. Right, on things like this I tend to score, but you don't have to. Okay, we can put the pocket there like this. This is just a quick way of doing it. Doesn't really matter that's too central. Okay, and I would fold that over, yeah, like so. Alright, oops, just get that like that, and then move that over. I do it like that, but I actually move it in a little bit more. Okay, so we can just come in on the width a bit. All right, that's a nice easy way of doing that. Just got to make sure it's fairly straight there. Like that. And now I'll check my width. Yeah, and that's just come in a bit. Okay. Why I have something underneath is because we can, when we put the circle in here, you know, we can actually see, which I will do now. Right, got a circle punch. Now, if you're not going to put washi tape here, okay, I would suggest you either, you know, make it a bit longer so you can fold that over, but I'm actually going to use washi tape. Okay, I'm not sure actually how it cuts through the punches, but well, we'll try, won't we? I'm going to put washi tape on here, and that just gives that pocket a bit of strength. And then cut through here, centralize it a bit. Okay, and there we have a pocket. When I done my other one, I didn't use a big punch because I didn't have one, because I was at my sister's when I was messing around with it. Right, we have to cut these corners off here, okay, that we folded over. Right, which you've got a little rectangle here. So I come in away from the line, and then I'll just do that. Okay, exactly the same here. Same way as you normally make pockets. I don't mind that one's a bit longer than the other, doesn't matter. Okay, make sure, right, I think this is going all the right way. Okay, so that's going to be stuck down there. All right, now pocket is here, and that is going to be in there. All right, just make sure it fits. It should do. Yeah, it does. Okay, so that's way. So I'll keep that together, and you always make sure this flap here is over those. All right, if it's inside those, when you add anything in there, like a long tag or anything like that, it will catch on here. Okay, so it's always that way. All right, and ink up all the flaps. Oh, I just mitre that bit. I like to do this bit here. All right, so just a little bit off that little sliver, just in case sometimes you can see them. That stops that. Right, I'm going to make sure it's here because we can always, if necessary, cut some off of the top. All right. I mean, you don't really need to mat all the way down, but I do because it's... Okay, because we need to stay away from that. And if we need to, we can always cut some off the top. All right. It's like we're going to have to trim a little bit. Yeah, as you say. So easy to trim off this bit than it is off the bottom. Okay, that's it. And then we ink up. And you also got, you know, you can see a nice bit of music paper in the pocket there. Now I'm going to add a bit more colour to this page here. Okay, now we can stick it in. Oh, yeah. First, got to make sure it goes there. So that goes down there, you see. There. And we need one in here, which is about there. Okay. So we need to make a hole in there. Okay. Put that in first and then make the hole. Slightly lift it up so you don't go through everything. And once you've made a little hole, you can then go back in and make it a little bit bigger. Alright, I know it goes in here, but it doesn't matter. Cover that over. There we go. Right, now we stick this in. It goes right up to the top. Okay, making sure it's away from there and from there. And not poking over there. Okay, and then get a little bit of washi tape. Go over that. It's quite hard to get all in shot, sorry. There we go. So elastic time. Okay, right, what have I got? About, I'll cut some off this anyway, but about just a little bit longer than the actual folio. So this one needs to be knotted. Oh, and this is the thinner one, because I remember once I got too thin, and this is it. But this is brilliant for this sort of thing. As a knot here, okay? So do a knot, and then we'll do another knot. Like that. You can either leave that, and then that comes down here. And I usually cut it off after. There, that'll go around there. Okay, now we've got our pocket. So again, this can be decorated a bit more. I did make something for the other one, didn't I? I won't make that again because all that is a bunch of bits. There we go. Which I'll show you. So I was fortunate enough to have these, the actual notelets that actually fit in again. It's just one of those things. It wasn't purposely done. It just happened. But if you haven't got that, then just cut your lined paper down. How many have I got? One, I've got four there. It's all been coffee stained, all right. And I just stitch the top, a bit of raggedy on, and that fits in there. Okay. beautifully. And then you can put a tag or something. All right, I'm stealing from the other one for a moment. Tag in now. And I think I would rather that a little bit tighter. All right. There you go. So it holds it all in then. Okay.